Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. I hope you're having a great day and I hope this video can make it just a little bit better. Today we're going to be showcasing Pyke with the Beast Within relic. I think this is going to be really fun. Before we get into that though, let's take a look at his star powers just as a refresher. So game start, grant Mariner's Ruse to 4 random allies. When you get the attack token, grant it to 2 more and draw 1. So we're getting a little bit of extra draw and we're giving units in our deck that item. It gives that unit, or grants it, 1/1, so a bit of extra stats, but it also makes it a lurker. So that means it can get the lurk effect, so gain some extra power, but it also makes it a lurker, which is a subtype. That'll be important later. Next up, though, +1 starting mana. When an ally dies, create a random lurker that costs 1 more in your deck and grant it 1/1. So more ways to generate some lurker cards that are a little bit stronger and just helping you scale up your deck a little bit more. Now, for the relics, we're using the Packed Powder and the Scourge's Stash. We had this on him before. Really good, gives you some scaling throughout the game, and lets you play him just for 1 mana, as long as you get that Plunder effect off, just getting him on the board very early. But the relic we just got, the Beast Within, so power, so this is going to be taking place even if Pyke is not on the board, so that is very, very good. Allies have Overwhelm, and then if they have a subtype, 1/1. Now for Pyke, a couple of your units already have Overwhelm, but just making sure all of your units have Overwhelm is absolutely massive. With Pyke, you're often attacking, hopefully every single round, and so just making sure all of your attacks are actually going to be doing their maximum amount of damage, and you're not just going to get blocked out and lose a lot of that damage, is very powerful. And then, since pretty much your whole deck is going to have a subtype from that lurk, and being a lurker, as you see right up here, they're also going to get that 1/1 stat increase, which is also going to be massive. Also, your units having that Overwhelm will help you trigger the Packed Powder, both the Plunder, so you can try to play Pyke earlier, but then also get the scaling from damaging the enemy nexus every single round. Overall, I'm really excited for this build, and I think it's going to be one of the best possible Pyke builds that you can currently do with him. Now, if you appreciate all this daily Path of Champions content, definitely like and subscribe. Also, if you want to hang out and chat with a bunch of like-minded individuals, we have a link to our Discord down below, so feel free to click on that and join if you are interested. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, first star power, mana flow, that is pretty good. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, so first we have Sejuani with Power Overwhelming. Alright, let's get rid of the Under Titan. And even the Petty Officer. We're fine with the 2 Sharklings. So we're just going to attack with both of these. And then we can play our Pyke and just already have him on the board. So these units right here, the Snapjaw Swarm, these having Overwhelm is kind of one of the biggest deals because you can then attack when you don't have the attack token. Normally they just get blocked out, but here the enemy probably knows there's not really much of a point. Let's actually get another one on the top of our deck. Let's let this attack first, try to get our lurk off. Wonderful. Alright, GG. So that was just one game, but it does feel pretty good. 5-punch Pablo, another quick strike, very nice to have. This is really going to play much more in a lurk style deck and less of just drop Pyke and have him annihilate the board. Now that can still be fun, but it is actually enjoyable to just really focus on your lurk mechanic and all of your lurker cards. Alright, so this one already has the Mariner's Ruse. Spell, not great. Mordekaiser, I mean, he does have a pretty powerful effect, so getting that just potentially round 1 wouldn't be terrible. Although, Kalista with that... I guess we'll go for the Mordekaiser. Let's go for this shop. So let's go for Tahm Kench with Unstable Inventory. Alright, this looks like a pretty good starting hand. Alright, let's play this just to make sure we get our lurk off. Again, we're trying to save that 1 mana for our Pyke. Just trying to get him on the board round 1 if possible. Nice getting our lurk off. Damaging the Nexus to buff up our Pyke. Alright, we can just attack and probably end the game. GG. I guess we get 2 more copies of the Bone Skewer. You normally don't want that many spells in your deck, so it's not great, but I think I like that better than the other 2. Spells cost 1 less, not too bad. That's actually pretty good. We'll probably... I mean, just to get more copies of this in our deck even would be good. So yeah, this fine general power. Robe Maker, Spells Chest. I guess we'll go for the Spells Chest. So Ezreal with Perfected Mana Flow. Alright, let's actually leave both of these in our opening hand. They're not great, but we want to be sure that we're going to get our lurk off, and these can't gain lurk, so... Oh great, we got the Snapjaw Swarm in our opening hand. That's actually wonderful. Because now we can play our Pyke and get him to attack. And might as well kill that. Alright, so we'll probably be able to surprise Ezreal here. Oh, I was going to use the Death's Grasp to kill him if we didn't have enough damage, but looks like we are fine. Alright, GG. So far it's been pretty effortless. Getting, again, a Quick Strike, very nice to have. Just more ways to try to trigger our lurk. Don't really like any of these spells. Like, yes, we'll be able to play this for cheap. For just like 1 mana. I think let's try to reroll. There we go, get something like this. Because there are a couple very good lurk spells. Now we could go to cut a card, or we could try to get a power. I think let's just go cut a card actually. I think let's actually get rid of Death's Grasp. The Monster Harpoon, we can play that for free once we get Plunder off. Yeah, I think let's go ahead and get rid of this. Alright, Poppy with Power Overwhelming. Yeah, we're fine with this. Keeping these out of our deck, and they also have good utility. But having a bunch of Snapjaw Swarms, very nice to have. And getting Pyke on the board round 1 is just awesome. We might be able to end this round, actually. So I think we'll play a double Snapjaw. Alright, GG. Alright, so Shadow Totem, I mean, Double Time Watch, that's not really going to matter. We're normally trying to get him on the board in the very first round. Shadow Totem's fine, but often the round we're summoning him, we're not necessarily attacking. I think just getting some flat stats will be best, and an extra copy of him in our deck. Domination, this is amazing for Pyke, not only letting you be aggressive every single round, but because of the star powers, it says when you get the attack token. Not at the start of the round, but anytime you can generate the attack token, this goes off. So getting the attack token every single round then really helps trigger this star power even more. So this is one of the best for Pyke. Yep, let's go for that champion item chest. So Caitlyn with unstable inventory. This will increase our odds of Pyke. Fine with the rest. We keep having these in our opening hand, but not complaining. So we could play one of these. Sure, let's play this for 0 mana. And I think I'm fine with a Snapjaw Swarm. Well, over half their health gone. Very first round. We could play other cards, or we could just immediately attack again. Alright, GG. Alright, none of these necessarily great. I guess we'll go for the Fortune Croaker. Start a free attack with our Pyke, that's amazing. Alright, Fiora with Duplicate. Alright, looks pretty good. We can re-roll this one. Although, we don't need 2 copies of our Pyke, I wouldn't think. We'll play this, guarantee we get our Lurk off.
I'm ready.
Alright, we can play our Pyke then. Almost. So close to ending the game. So round 1, our Pyke already leveled. Alright, GG. I feel like this is probably a record for my Pyke. We'll get this just to get the extra copies. Man, it really wants us to take both of these. This is like the second time we've been offered these 2 cards. So there's not another shop. We're normally trying to end in the very first round. I don't think this would really help us that much. Like, it's a fine power. Let's try to reroll. I mean, that's really not going to help us. Okay, that's actually not bad. We can get one copy for the tough. I think let's just go for the item chest. So, Viego with Perfected Mana Flow. Alright, let's get rid of the Hammer Snout. 5-Punch Pablo is good, but we'd want one that's a little cheaper. Yeah, let's even get rid of the Bone Skewer. We want one of our 1 or 2 cost free attacks. Like right there. Although, yeah, I suppose we do have other units already. Alright, let's play the Sharkling just for a little bit more damage. Well, that's pretty good. Alright, this should be GG. Alright, Reckoner's Mark. Since we're playing him round 1, there shouldn't really be anything that can stand toe-to-toe to him, with him. I want to save our rerolls. Let's actually maybe grab more copies. I think of the Bone Skewer. Then let's actually cut it from our deck. It's like a fine card, but we really haven't been needing it at all. Alright, Lulu with Duplicate. We know we're going to draw this. Alright, looks good. Alright, guaranteed that we get our Lurk off. Play our Snapjaw Swarm. They'll attack and we can't block. Here comes leveled up Pyke. And that should be game.
You like frogs, huh?
Scout, that's actually going to be amazing because then we can essentially get a rally if we want. None of these really help us. Alright, giving us some extra stats in the first round, that we play a unit, that's fine, because normally we're trying to end in the first round. Alright, Karma with Power Overwhelming. Alright, let's get rid of both of these. Although I suppose we don't really need to worry about mana. Alright, let's play this before they can react.
My spirit is an unquenchable fire. Ionia speaks through me.
Alright, let's play this. Give our Pyke Deathless. Let's then attack.
Peace has its cost.
Raindrops.
And our Pyke will now rally, although also probably die, but we have that Deathless. Did the scout count? Okay, so since he died before it went off, it didn't quite count. Oh well.
Destiny is darkness. I am not done with you.
So because we didn't get the attack token from that scout attack, not quite able to end that game, or end that round.
We will not stand by. Care for a taste of tomorrow?
Alright, so we'll attack with our Snapdraw Swarm. That should be able to kill either of their units. Pyke will again end up dying to kill both of their units. However, we don't have Deathless this time.
I will bless you with death. Even in death, your spirit is mine.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Done with you.
Alright, we'll just drown them in free attacks. GG. Alright, I guess we can get some more monster harpoons. Not that we want more copies in our deck. Alright, shop. What do we see? We're doing that a little bit, so we'll get some benefit out of that. Oh, is that... Okay, doesn't have duplicate. Azir with power overwhelming. Let's get rid of the red fin. Great to have Pyke and our swarm. Alright, so we will attack.
You dare.
Try to do as much damage to him as possible. And now we'll essentially rally with our Pyke.
Shurima will rise. You cannot hold destiny. Watch me. So many names. I'm just getting started.
Alright,
Plug and play.
GG. Alright, 5-punch Pablo, gain some more copies of this. These others, one spell, don't really want that in our hand or deck to mess with our Pyke or mess with our Lurk. And this one is just too expensive. Like, yes, Scout, like, a lot of great things here, but hopefully the game ends before we could ever play this. Alright, Zed with power overwhelming. Alright, we know we're going to draw this so we can re-roll it, but otherwise, looks great.
I am the blade in the darkness.
Alright, we're going to play this again. Just wanting to create 2 sacrificial units. Let's try to do as much damage to him as we can. Granted, he's probably going to kill our Pyke. Although, actually, what we should have done to play that better is wait and then attack, and then when he blocks thinking he's going to survive, then we could use that to surprise him. Because here, there's not as likely that he'll block. Yeah. Yep, we could have played that and ended this round. Didn't think about it in the moment.
Plug and play. Don't mind if I do.
Alright, GG. Great, making our Snapjaw Swarm even better. Wonderful. Alright, Aurelian Soul with Duplicate. Let's get rid of the Hammer Snout. They start with the attack token. That's a little annoying. That just means they have first action, so they can play something to try to block us.
Shape the skies and mold the earth.
Play this. Guarantee our lurk. So yeah, we will wait for our Pyke. Let's burn our attack token first. Get as much... Actually, let's just get rid of their blockers. We just want to push as much damage as possible. Alright. At least we got that out of their hand. And now here's our Pyke to give us a rally. Oh, we're so close. Ah, well.
I'm just getting started!
Shouldn't that be dead?
Plug and play.
That's a little weird.
Try to keep up.
Anyways,
I deem you lacking.
I don't see how they could possibly stop this. Yep. GG. Alright, that was actually a very fast time. If we didn't have that Karma match, it wouldn't have beat, but it would have been pretty close to our Teemo time. This makes Pyke feel so much better. Like, yes, we're using 2 epics to try to make him feel so much better, but I think these work out really, really well. The Beast Within, that giving all of your units those extra stats as well as that Overwhelm, really helps speed up your game plan as Pyke. Quite often, you would be attacking so often, but you would just get blocked out, so a lot of your damage didn't actually translate into damage on the Nexus. But this relic really helps you out. And then the cost reduction and scaling you get from the Packed Powder is really, really nice. It is fun to play Pyke with different strike relics and try to just have him do these big board wipes. But this is actually really fun getting him on the board round 1, but then also focusing more on just all of your units and getting them buffed up. Really enjoyed this build. Highly recommend it if and when you hopefully get these relics. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day.